Well, another new round of polling is out, and once again, it has some very bad news for the wealthy elite here in the United States. 61% of people in this new poll by Morning Consult and Politico, 61% of them say that, hell yeah, I support Elizabeth Warren's idea of a wealth tax of 2% on people making more than $50 million a year or people with more than $50 million a year in assets. 61% say, bring it on, let's tax the rich. And what's great about this poll is that 50% of Republicans say, I like that idea. That is a good idea, and I would like to see that as policy. 50% of Republicans versus just 30% of Republicans who say, no, don't do that. So a majority of Republicans are now in favor of Elizabeth Warren's plan to enact a wealth tax on the 75,000 wealthiest families here in the United States. And her plan for a wealth tax, as of right now, actually has broader support in terms of poll numbers than Ocasio-Cortez's plan of a 70% marginal tax rate, although that one is still supported by a majority of people here in the United States. Either one is fine. In fact, there's really no reason we couldn't do both. You could have a marginal tax rate of 70% or 80 or 90 like we used to have, and that would still not necessarily interact with the wealth tax that Elizabeth Warren is also proposing. So they could exist in the same universe, a perfect, wonderful universe. So there's no reason to exclude one or favor the other. We could enact both. And based on polling data, I don't think people would be too offended by that. But here's the thing. We have to kind of look past the numbers a little bit, right? We see a majority of Republicans, majority of Democrats, majority of independents. They all support her wealth tax idea, Elizabeth Warren's wealth tax idea. That's in this data, right? But what does it mean other than they support the idea? It means that the Republican propaganda, all of these conservative pundits out there, all of these Republican politicians, their message has failed. Their message is not resonating with the American public. The American public isn't buying into it, and that includes their own base. So when you have people out there, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, the entire cast of Fox News, Dan Crenshaw, Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, whoever it is, whenever they go out there and say, we're going to cut taxes on the wealthy and you're going to get some of it. And the wealthy need to pay less in taxes because that benefits you. The majority of people in this country don't buy that crap anymore. Some of them bought into the trickle-down lie one too many times. But a majority of people in this country now understand that it is not fair, nothing ever trickles down, and they're sick and tired of being lied to. And they're ready for the wealthy elite, those 75,000 families, 75,000 is the number that this wealth tax would actually affect. They're ready for those people to start paying up. Pay a little bit more. Because yeah, you were successful, right? But you were successful off the back of other workers. You were successful in a country that allowed you to be successful. You drive on public roads. Some of you attended public schools or your kids attend public schools. You use the police departments and the fire departments that are paid for by tax dollars the same as everybody else, except that you've gotten more benefit out of all of it because of your amassed wealth. And because you've benefited the most from this society, from this country, it's only fitting that you pony up a little bit more to have that kind of privilege to exist in a country that allowed you to be successful. There is nothing, honest to God, nothing more patriotic than paying back the country that allowed you to amass so much wealth to begin with. The American public realizes it, and the wealthy elite, assuming a Democrat gets in office in 2020, is about to realize that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.